Welcome to Comics with Dan. Welcome to Monday Night Comics. I am happy to be back. I unfortunately did not get to read much over the past week. It was a pretty busy week. So I have a lot to talk about that's upcoming, but not so much to talk about that came out in the past week. But I think we can still have a pretty good time looking at that. I'm going to adjust my camera. And all right, away we go. So first, we'll pull up our trusty list to talk about. All right. And so starting out, we have a handful of books, 5 books that came out last week that I'll be picking up this week. And so the first of those is Batman and Robin number 30. So this is the finale of the Quiet Man story, and it's the finale of Philip Kennedy Johnson's run on Batman and Robin. Uh, if if you're unaware, he recently, fairly recently, announced that he had signed an exclusive deal with Marvel, and so which is to me very disappointing because he's one of my favorite writers, and I'm much more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy. Not against Marvel, just I happen to lean more towards the DC side of things. So that'll be kind of a bummer to see him not writing those books. Now, he to me wrote one of the greatest Superman stories ever, War World. And so that makes it extra difficult to have him move on to just Marvel. But I'm enjoying his Incredible Hulk. I haven't read any Infernal Hulk yet because I generally read the trades from my library afterwards, after they come out. And so I I don't think I don't know what else he's going to be doing over at Marvel, but I know that I've been enjoying uh, his Hulk. So I'm sure we'll get lots of good stuff over there. And honestly, it's a good move by Marvel, right? I mean, the fact uh, that they can get a talent like that, right? And I think it's definitely a good move. I kind of wish DC had done the same thing, but so this arc has been pretty good. I've enjoyed it a lot. Um, I think that this is the best dynamic between Damian and Bruce, like since Grant Morrison was doing it. I think obviously it's very different, right? Their relationship has evolved significantly since the Grant Morrison days. But I think a lot of people were really worried about how PKJ was going to write Damien after the first issue because Damien was kind of a brat, which is, I mean, historically, that's what he does, right? But he has allowed Damien to grow here. So I genuinely think that this has been one of the highlights of DC lately. And that's saying a lot because DC has a lot of good stuff coming out. All right. We have Blood and Thunder, number 10. Did I read number 9? I didn't mark it as read. I wonder if I even got number 9. Um, I definitely read number 9. And let me see what. I thought that. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So I definitely read number 9. Um, yeah. And so then number 10 looks like someone is probably going to kill Blood and Thunder with the galaxy's most dangerous weapon. So of course they got to follow him. Yeah. This is just pretty great. Like this whole series has just been like it's been a lot of chaos, but like you can see the plot threads connecting kind of in the background, right? And um I mean, again, like I think I've said before, right? Like Kirkman my guess is that the month to month uh, contribution from Kirkman is minimal, right? I think he helped Benny Sereno write the story, and or the two of them wrote the story together rather, and I mean Sereno's doing the script for sure, and I mean it helps to have a name like Robert Kirkman on your book, right? Like it's gonna sell much better. I mean, and I appreciate it too because it's really well done, right? And it's not just because it's Kirkman. I mean, the rest of the creative team's crushing it as well. Um, but having Kirkman on the book, I mean, it's gonna boost your sales. It's gonna get more people reading it, and it's gonna get you more issues. It's supposed to be an ongoing. I don't know. I mean, I mean, Kirkman runs Skybound, so he can probably keep it as long as he wants. I think that, at the end of the day, he's also a businessman, so he probably will get rid of it if he has to, but it's gonna have a long leash, right? And truthfully, I think it's been really well done the whole time. So I don't see why, as long as it continues to turn some kind of profit or at least break even, that why it wouldn't be why it wouldn't stay. So all right. Let's flip back here. DCKO number 4. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty amazed that I've managed to avoid spoilers for this, since this came out on Wednesday, and, actually not gonna look at the preview because I really don't want to have any spoilers. So, I mean, I really I'm loving this event. I've been pretty vocal about that. Um, it's It's really great stuff. 3 mysterious new Omega charged fighters, so we know who they are. Um, it should be good. I mean, I'm excited for it. That honestly, that may be the first one off the top of the stack that I read, when I pick up my books on Wednesday. Yeah, so because this past week I was actually out of town, so I wasn't able to pick up any of these. So, not only would I not read them, but I don't even have them, right? So, um, this is the second part of the Antimatter Man story. So this is another one of the two-parters that you see in Space Ghost, right? So a lot of the stories are standalone, meaning that they start and end within one issue. Obviously, there's still a an overarching plot that the series is following. Um, to be honest, that this volume, right? So that they had the first 12 issues, this creative team, and now they started back over at number 1 for Space Ghost Volume 2. And it this one feels, while I'm actually really enjoying the individual stories a lot, the overarching plot feels a lot more loose. Um, at least to me, or maybe not even loose, but just it's not as pointed, it's not as direct. So I guess, yeah, I guess loose is kind of a good way to describe that. um but like the first volume, like it was a pretty clear distinction, like where things were going, not necessarily what was going to happen, but just kind of what was going on right now. It's honestly just feels like it's a little up in the air, and we're already on issue number 8, right? And so assuming that they're going to go with 12 issues again, I'm interested to see kind of where this lands on issue number 12. So, these are always good though. Um, it's really, I mean, one of my favorite books that I've been getting lately. So, same creative team as always, always great. Yeah, same crew. Jonathan Lau, or David Pepos, Jonathan Lau, Andrew Dalhouse, and Taylor Esposito. Taylor Esposito rocks. He's a great letterer. All right. So, Transformers number 29, the solicit, and I talked about this last week, I believe. The solicit kind of encapsulates my problem with the current Transformers run. and it's, Autobots versus Decepticons, and only spoiler can turn the tide. Okay, stop introducing characters. There's already too many. I don't know who most of these people are. Like, I don't know who like a handful of them are, and it's just ends up being too much. It's a great cover. Um, and obviously, like, Kirkman writing and Dan Moore on art's great. Maybe I'm not a Transformers guy, but the problem is, or the thing is that those first like 12 issues of um Daniel Warren Johnson's run were just like unbelievable, just like some of the best comics ever. And so I know that I can like them, but it's just been tough lately. So, uh this is the book that the title of the stream is named after. I thought it was a very hilarious play on world's foulest instead of world's finest, because we've got the Crime Syndicate showing up in the pages of world's finest. So, um I'm trying to think if, like, I think that the very first appearance of the Crime Syndicate was actually back on on Infinite Earths, but then they really came through in Forever Evil. And neither one of those are Mark Wade properties. So it's cool to see Mark Wade kind of dip into this and see. Um, Really, this cover is just incredible. Um, it's such a good one. I don't know what the solicit sounds like. So enter the crime syndicate. They are the finest duo in the world, but which world? Forget Batman and Superman. Welcome to a chilling tale starring their evil crime syndicate. Okay, so this is just starring them. So I wonder if Batman or Superman. Yeah, it looks like they're not even showing up here. Yeah, and so let's see. I mean, are they gonna? Okay, so it looks like they're here again, part two. Oh, it's just gonna be two parts, because then World's Finest number 50, where Dan Mora is gonna come back. I'm a little concerned that, I mean, it wouldn't have been solicited yet, so there's no reason to sound the alarm. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm slightly concerned that this may be the end for the series. Although, I mean, like, you look at these numbers, right? Like, we've got 13,000, almost 14,000 pulled on each of these. So I really hope that they stick it. They keep it around. I mean, it's been one of my favorite series since I started reading comics. So, um, yeah, I mean, this should be this should be great. I mean, let's take a look at the preview real quick. And so this is still, oh, Marcus, yeah, so Marcus Toe is doing the art. And so if you aren't familiar, what I know Marcus Toe from um is from the Red Robin series, right? So, um oh boy. Oh boy. That's wild. That's like an origin story for Owlman, and then they're not going to go into it any further than that. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, and I just saw a comment about how, like, this alternate world, and so I ended up really liking the, like, Return to Kingdom Come stuff that Mark Wade did, and it feels like there just hasn't been a committed multiple issue arc in a little while in this series. Um, it's still great. I mean, I would never stop pulling this. So yeah, I mean, that's, if DCKO is not the top book that I'm looking forward to this week, then in World's Finest, they're like 1A and 1B, right? I'm gonna have a hard time deciding which one to read first. So, now let's look at Captain America, because again, this is another one where, okay, so I did read this one. I'm loving Captain America. Um, I mean, so he is just the in-depth view of this American imperialism, right? The to me, the obvious similarities between what happened in the first arc with Doom and the US kind of having a hostile takeover and trying to set up a new government in Latveria, it all is very similar um, to uh, to Iraq and to what is coming up with Venezuela here. I mean, or what essentially started to happen in Venezuela. And so, like everyone says, politics are inherently political, right? And I don't think some people say that and think that it means it literally involves politics directly. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I don't think they have to be inherently political, but when they are, if it's well done, I don't mind, right? And so you can see that Steve Rogers is struggling with this, right? Because he can see that Doom is causing harm to people and he has sworn to protect people. However, he knows that the US government and Nick Fury and pretty much everyone, they're all going to try to get their piece of the pie when it comes to Latveria and control there, right? Um, what I'm, I guess, sort of missing is the motivation there, right? I'd like to see some political motivation from these people. Like the obvious one for Iraq and Venezuela has been oil, right? So I want to see that for Latveria and for this Captain America comic. A Captain America comic is going to be pretty political for the most part. I saw on the league some criticism that Captain America is just an American stooge, right? And I kind of, I mean, I disagree with that because he very clearly turns down General Ross, and yeah, he then sides with um with Nick Fury, right? But to me, he's like, I need to have my hand in this to prevent these two groups from just making it a bloodbath over there. And then on top of that, on this solicit here, actually, hold on a second. No, the solicit on the next issue, I believe. Yeah, so Captain America has formed an alliance with the Latvian Liberators. So to me, it seems like he's going to kind of go rogue anyway. But right here, what we're seeing is obviously Cap signed or sided with Nick Fury and turned down Ross. Ross is not going to be happy about that. And you can see it right on the cover here. So to me, Zdarsky's Captain America is in between his Batman and his Daredevil, and it's much closer to his Daredevil than it is his Batman. So, very much looking forward to that one. G.I. Joe. Okay. So this cover is great. I don't oh, Hound. Hound is the name of that Autobot. This cover is great. I've been dying to read G.I. Joe since the last issue just because, or not even since the last issue, since issue 17, right? 18 was like a standalone Night Force, which was a great issue. But um I mean the tension between Clutch and Duke and Hound is just incredible. And not knowing the reveal behind when Clutch revealed that Hound was an Autobot and he helped save the day, right? And so what I loved is that Duke, he in the moment, right? Like a good military leader, right? He recognized that it gave them the advantage. And so he rolled with it, right? He very clearly was not happy about it. And then immediately afterwards is we've got a problem, right? And so this, on top of this, the fact that next issue Optimus Prime and Duke meet for the first time, which I'm beyond hyped about. Love this one. I'm seated. The employees at my local comic book shop are scared and asking me to leave because it's not March yet, but I'm simply too seated. I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, this is just what a great is that the Hori Corona variant amazing? Yeah, that's fantastic. This is gonna be huge. This is just gonna be just too huge. Now I'm honestly not sure. That's the problem, right? So, like, we have DCKO, we have World's Finest, we have GI Joe, Captain America, and then maybe even the most anticipated book, The Muppets Noir. I don't know how I'm gonna decide to read what to read first. There's just too many good books. I mean, like, this is gonna be a turning point for the Energon universe right here, you know? And I don't know if we'll get Void Rivals kind of meshed into the GI Joe and Transformer stuff. The plots of GI Joe and Transformers have always been a little more closely aligned, or closely more intertwined than the Void Rivals ones, right? Like the the Void Rivals connections have been a little more like anecdote, not even anecdotal, but like in the background, right? Like, for example, Jetfire showing up in the first issue of Void Rivals, and then he ends up showing up in Transformers. Like, that's kind of a connection. We have Transformer characters or robots or Autobots or whatever showing up in Void Rivals. I believe Hot Rod and again, I can't remember any of the Transformers names. There's just too many. But like other than that, like not a ton of connection, but like the plot of GI Joe is really driven by something that actually happened in the Transformers title first, right? So it makes sense that that's where it would cross first. I think that we'll still, I really do believe that we'll still get a like Transformers with GI Joe against Goliant from Void Rivals at some point. But it's going to be great. So, all right, the Muppets Noir. I really hope that my comic shop gets this in. Like, it's going to be so great. I haven't read the last Muppet comic I read was Muppet Robin Hood, and it's like one of my favorite books because I don't even know who wrote it. I should see if the same guy did this one. Muppet Robin Hood. Let's see now. This one was from Boom. Okay, different people. That being said, um, it was an absolute perfect, um, like it was perfect, right? I mean, is it was like they got the cast of characters like spot on. Now this isn't actually adapting anything. It's just a um okay, so the show is about to begin at the famous Muppet Theater, and the regular pre-curtain chaos has the troupe's stalwart MC, Kermit the Frog, coming apart at the seams. In an attempt to de-stress, he settles down to read a few pages of a favorite old detective novel, only to get KO'd by an errant brick to the bean, leaving him laid out backstage as his co-stars try to coax him back to consciousness. And so this is all like a dream that Kermit has. It's gonna be perfect. We're gonna go through and we're just gonna give quick hearts to every single one of these people because this is perfect. And I don't even care what they're saying. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so I think so the issue that changes Bloodhaven forever. It's like that's a solicit trope if I've ever seen one. Um, so this is going to be kind of the start of a new thing. So I wonder if the end of like the Zanny stuff, the Cirque de Sin. We'll have to kind of see. Truthfully, I feel like for me to do this proper justice, I should probably go back and reread a couple. This has just felt so disconnected. I don't know why. I mean, I don't think that the release schedule has been off. So January 21, and I'm pretty sure I read that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to read that. December, November. Yeah, I mean, it's been on October. So that's like a me thing, I guess. Um, I feel like I've been enjoying every issue I've been reading, but I'm having a hard time connecting the dots on what's actually going on in the grand scheme of things. So, um, I'll have to go back and read a couple of those. What do we have here? We have Superman Unlimited. Each one of these has been great. That's not what I wanted. It says that the sun is always shining on the city metropolis, but lately a shadow has fallen. The shadow has a name. It's on the lips of terrified citizens tomorrow night, tonight. It's the horrible new form of the prankster. The all new mysterious prankster was the deadliest assassin in the DC universe. Somewhat the okay. So this seems like pretty kind of campy, right? I mean, I don't know who prankster is. Enemy to Superman and Nightwing. I wonder if we'll see Nightwing then. That'd be interesting. But they said it's a new prankster. So I'm wondering if it's someone different. What else do we have? Okay. Wolverine. Weapons of Armageddon. So this is going to be part of the Armageddon event, which I think I'm going to give this a go. That's what's interesting. Okay, Miles Morales returning home. Maybe I should read that. Um, I probably should read The Will of Doom #1 as well. It looks like Captain America, Wolverine, Weapons of Armageddon. Um, oh, I put that on my list, but I guess I didn't. I didn't actually get it. Yeah, I mean, this seems like it's going to be a fairly yeah, and then the core issue. So this seems like a smaller event, right? But I'm excited to see kind of where it goes. See if it's actually as impactful as it pretends it's going to be. But that's kind of the reason I have that on there. I don't think I'd normally pull a Wolverine book, um, but it being part of that event is kind of what drove that for me. So now the one thing I actually did read this past week was The Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect. So this is one that I got at a sale at my local library, and there was just like they had a book sale, and everything was already super cheap, and they had a sale on the sale, and so like these trades ended up being like 50 cents a pop. And so I got this, I got a couple Exo Manowar, I got some John Constantine Hellblazer, I got what else? So there's a handful of things, right? This is one that I got. This is where the Maestro or the future imperfect version of the Incredible Hulk uh, is first introduced, right? And so I was first introduced to the Maestro as part of Contest of Champions, which I read to do research on my Night Thrasher profile, which you can see in my on my channel, and it was like one of the first videos I did. So be go easy on me. But the but Maestro, I mean, he's the guy kind of on the right side here. He's the Hulk with a big gray and white beard, and like kind of hair going back. And he is like truthfully just an absolute menace, right? Like they start off the book with kind of showing what the kind of showing what the like this dystopia that he has not created himself but has survived and become the the ruler over. um and he is just like they really try to push it in like the first half of this, right? So it was like two issues, right? Two like longer issues. It says Future Imperfect 1 and Future Imperfect 2. um and then the and so like they lay it on heavy with like this dystopia and stuff. And so just when you think like, okay, they've done enough to make me not like the Maestro, right? Like he's a bad dude, obviously. I'm not going to say what exactly he does, but it's pretty awful. Some one of the worst things I've ever seen anyone do in comics. But I don't want to actually repeat what it is. So, um, really, really messed up stuff that the Maestro does. And so, I mean, it cements him as just one of like the worst villains. And what I really love is I don't recall if this was in the actual um this was in the actual like story, or if this was something that Peter David had put in the back on his like little kind of epilogue, not even epilogue, but like his little comments on the back, I guess. I forget what they're called. But he said something along the lines of like, can Hulk avoid this future? Which I think is a really cool idea because essentially um the one of the plot points is that by bringing the Hulk to fight the Maestro, um they essentially split the timeline, right? So it's not like the Hulk dies and the Maestro never exists, right? And so it splits the timeline. So in the regular Hulk's timeline, he can still become the Maestro. And which I think is a great way to do it. I think it maybe confuses things a little bit, but also makes them a little clearer. Just to say, like, hey, like this is him in a possible future, right? So, I really like this. Um, I felt like it was a little bit of a slow start, but then it ended really well. It was some good action. Um, yeah, and then obviously like the George Perez art was incredible. Uh, just really good stuff. And so, yeah, Earth 9200, right? Is yeah, and it's Professor Hulk, right? Which is like that's what they try to do in the MCU, right? Is this Professor Hulk? He's like the Hulk that has his like regular brain function of Bruce Banner. And I still think they kind of made um MCU Hulk a little too soft for Professor Hulk. Um but you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, it's pretty good, especially since I got it for 50 cents. Can't complain about that. So, all right. So now let's take a look at some of the things that are on final order cutoff. And so the first one tonight, we have Captain America #8. I'm just really liking this this story. I don't know who that is. That's interesting. I don't know who that is. Just final cover may vary. Um, but that's the reason I have this one on here is just that Captain America is great, and I think that you should still be able to pull it at this point and kind of know what's going on, getting into the event. Cyclops. So I wasn't sure. I saw this and I was just really excited because I didn't know that there was going to be um a a Cyclops solo book. And so what I want to know is this going to be a limited series? Is this going to be a, let's see, overview, limited series? Okay. I don't know how many it's going to be. Let's see, is it going to be 4 issues? Um, hmm. Okay. So I think that we should. It's going to be tough. I can't put it on my pull list. I've got too many things. I will certainly read the trade, but I can't. I just can't do it. It's too much. Space Ghost. Okay, so this is another one. I talked about this last week. This is another blip issue. All the Space Ghost issues are great. The blip issues are the best. This is a perfect spot to this is a perfect spot um to add to your pull list. So, I mean, final order cutoffs tonight. This is a great way to do it. Even just add the one. Like you don't have to add the whole series. Just add the one book to your pull list, and if you like it, you can keep going. If not, then you skip it. So, Nightwing 136. So it seems like this is going to be a good jumping on point uh, for for um, for Nightwing. So Dennis All right, we're back. Had some technical difficulties there. Share my screen again. All right, we are back in business. Let's see here. Yeah, so yeah, no, I think this can be a good jumping on point for Nightwing. So, final order cutoff for this one is next week, right? So you got a week to decide, but if you're looking to get into Nightwing, this would be a good spot to jump on, I think. I'm surprised they didn't renumber that one at some point, right? Still being 136 is cool. Already talked about this one. Um, this is going to be incredible. This is going to be so good. I will be at my comic shop the day that they open. I might even be there the day before and hope that I can still get the book a day early. I'm so hyped for that. So this is the first. So we have final order cutoff for this next week as well. This is the first in the DC Next Level series, right? And so the idea behind these is taking characters that get the spotlight less, giving them a series. And like, look at that. We've got a Lobo series with 6,500 people pulling it on League of Comic Geeks. Like that's a big number for a character like Lobo. Um, it's tempting. It's very tempting to um it's very tempting to pull this book. I'm gonna have to think about it over the next week between this and Batwoman, right? So this is the second. Well, Lobo and this are kind of 1A and 1B, right? Like, they're both coming out the same week, I believe, and final workout for both of them is next week. Um, and apparently, um, Greg Rucka uh, has done a Batwoman run that was pretty well received. So I would imagine that this is going to be pretty good. And that's another one, right? I just saw that has 6,000 pulls, right? So I'm ready for it. Let's see what else we have here. Sonic the Hedgehog number 86. I will always uh push this book because it's fantastic. Um so excited about this one. Really looking forward to see if we figure out who this coffin carrying person is. Although I'm guessing that if we're only at number 86 that we probably won't just yet because I think that this is all. I mean, it says road to 100, right? Somewhere, maybe, maybe not. Um, so final order cutoff for that's this next week. Um, I liked 83, 84, maybe 84. Yeah, 84 was pretty good. Um, and it was super exciting that my son got uh his art published in this. So um yeah, this one should be pretty good as well. So final or cut off for that next week. This one, I loved the cover, right? I don't know how I feel about the new Venom suit and how it just mirrors Spider-Man's. I'm not sure I get it, but I really like the cover because it is an homage to the original Web of Spider-Man series, right? And so that's um, a great one there. Now, the my concern here is we've got a spider centric book that is only has 2,000 pulls, right? Which is a low number for this crew, right? I mean, we just saw that like Lobo and Batwoman each have 6,000, right? And obviously, number of pulls it doesn't say how good it's going to be, right? But it can be telling as to whether or not the book's going to be a success. Um, Marvel won't stop until every blanking support character is in the 616 as a hero. Just make it Aunt May at this point. It's obviously James Gunn. Hear me out. The older, newer Venom will be the alien costume equivalent for Rec Rap. We are Monev. I don't know what that means. Oh, Monev Venom. That's pretty good. Oh man, I don't understand. I did want to highlight this because oh, okay. So we don't know who this is. Okay, that trope is getting old. I'm getting a little tired of it. It was cool when they were doing it before, but I don't know. Now this one's a little further out. We have till March 2nd, but I really wanted to make sure that this got on everyone's radar. This and its 5,000 variants. Um, the Superman, Spider-Man, and then additionally Spider-Man, Superman. So both of them are on final order cutoff March 2nd, right? Even though this one comes out the Marvel one comes out April 15th, and the DC one comes out March 25th. I'm interested to see that they've got to be comparable, right? So we got 10,000 pulls on this one, and obviously I know not everyone uses League of Comic Geeks, but it can provide us some direction, right? 6,000 on the Marvel one. That's interesting. Wonder why that is. Maybe it's just because it's a little further out. Um, but I am very excited for both of those. I don't know if we have information on stories here. Okay, so here we go. So don't miss these bonus stories. Tom King and Jim Lee tell a tale of Lois Lane and Mary Jane Watson. Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber revisit Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and Carnage. Ooh. Sean Murphy, meanwhile, takes us to the future with Superboy, Legion, and Spider-Man 2099. That's going to be awesome. Gail Simone teams up with Belen Ortega for a look what happens when Power Girl meets Punisher. Christopher Priest and Daniel Sampere shows a time when Superboy Prime, who reads all the comics, decided to visit Spider-Man right after he got the black suit. Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott are taking us an exciting race between the Daily Planet and the Daily Bugle. Plus, we finally get the answer to the age-old question of who would win in a fair fight, Pa Ken or Uncle Ben. Just kidding, those guys are too nice to fight each other, but Jeff Lemire and Rafa Sandoval will take us deep into the past to see the two men bond in the face of adversity. Celebrate 50 years of DC Marvel crossovers with 8 new original stories from some of DC's top talent. Okay, now I wonder if we've got anything similar on the Marvel side. Okay, Brad Meltzer and Pepe Larraz pit Spider-Man and Superman against Lex Luthor and Norman Osborn. Okay. This Shadowlade in 1930, Spider-Man Noir encounters the original Golden Age Superman as told by Slott and Martin. Okay, I like that. Crisis ensues as Johns Franks, oh man, bring the Super and Spider families against each other at the summons of Mysterio, but is their true foe and ally out of control. Symbiote hordes invade Metropolis as a new War of the Realms ignites Aaron Dodderman's, I'm guessing Jason Aaron's epic. That doesn't tell me that much, though. Co-creator of Steel, Louise Simonson, hammers out the tale of John Henry Irons' class with a hobgoblin, as drawn by Todd Knock. Kelly Ramos, I'm guessing, actually, I don't know which Kelly that would be. Joe Kelly, got it. Take us on a campus crossover between Gwen Stacy and Lana Lang. Okay. Miles Morales teams up with Superman as Bendis and Pacelli reteam. And a few super surprises. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think DC, it looks like they had the better book, but I will be getting both. I will read both, and I'm excited about both. This is hilarious, though. The last one I want to talk about is Ice Cream Man number 45. So I didn't get the last Ice Cream Man, but the release schedule of Ice Cream Man is a little sporadic. I did get this one-page horror stories one from last January. So we have January, we have July, and now we have March, which is wild. Oh, okay. Watch Hitchcock's Rear Window in preparation for ICM 45. Yeah. Um, it's a good movie. I mean, I've seen the movie before. Um, this has been delayed several times, so that is interesting. But um, I'm gonna add this one. I added this one to my pull list, so we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, so that's what I have here. Um, I'm looking forward to a lot of these. I mean, the it's going to be quite a stack that I'll be bringing home on Wednesday because I missed last week. So I've got, I mean, DCKO, number 4, GI Joe number 19, and like Captain America number 7, I think. Um, so lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure that if you enjoyed the stream, make sure you subscribe and click the little bell so you get notified when I'm streaming. I try to stream every Monday. Sometimes I can't. I really try to make it a consistent thing. Um, Make sure you like the video as well, because that helps kind of get it out and in front of new people. And I really just like to kind of ramble on about comics for an hour straight. So if that kind of thing interests you, then please hit that subscribe button. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.